So, hello, yes, today is day 8 of 30 of my career tips, and I'll be going through career tips for career clarity, resume writing, interview prep, and much more. Today's topic is about your resume. So, I know that resume writing isn't something that's taught in any sort of real education setting. So it's not like a class that you can take. There's no courses in college or high school that you can take. Maybe you can go to the career center and learn a little bit about it, but there's not much that's out there in terms of formal education. So you get a lot of this information from the internet or just from people telling you stuff or from other people who have written resumes and your coworkers, your friends, things like that. So lots of information coming at you, but I hope to be able to kind of distill some of the information and let you know from my perspective how you can write an effective resume. And what I bring to the table is that I've been able to navigate 9 career shifts and promotions within 9 years. So lots of resume writing within that time. But even beyond that time, beyond that 9 years, I've written more resumes um, than I can remember. So I bring that perspective, but I also bring the perspective of being a recruiter and a hiring manager for a Fortune 100 company. So I've looked through resumes, other people's resumes many, many times, and I've found what works and what doesn't work, what other recruiters look for, what I looked for when I was a recruiter. So I bring that perspective for you to help you along your job search journey. So today, talking about resumes, um, I think that a common known fact about resumes is that you need to make sure that you write the resume so that you look better than the next candidate, right? You want to make sure that you write enough on the resume to let the recruiter choose you over other candidates. Oh, let me make sure that I put up the, wrong one here. So, yeah, so we want to make sure that we look basically better than the other candidates. But how do we do that? So you won't do that. You won't make yourself look better by just putting your job description or a regurgitation of the job description onto your resume. So you don't want to just list out your job duties that you've done in the past. That doesn't tell the recruiter how much better you are at the job than the next person, than the next candidate. So you want to make sure that you want to include things that show how well you did the job. What kind of things did you achieve or accomplish when you were doing the job? That's going to give the recruiter a sense of what you did in the past and how you're going to do it in the future if you were chosen for the job. And they, of course, want to make sure that they choose the best person for the job. So they need those accomplishments in order for them to make a decision between you and another person. So I hope that makes sense. But now, how do you come up with these accomplishments? Because sometimes it's hard for yourself to think about, oh, how well did I do this job? What did I do that was better than other people? So, if there are any metrics that you can use, so say you are a sales associate and because of the work that you've done, you've been able to increase sales for a certain amount in this time frame. That makes it really clear to the recruiter and gives them a good metric to look at to see how well you actually did that job. So if you were able to increase sales by 120% within 2 weeks, that's an accomplishment that is very clear. And again, they can compare that to another candidate who may not have been able to achieve those results in that amount of time or whatever that is. So of course it's a lot easier when you're talking about things like sales, things that have a lot of numbers and records. But what if you work in a job that doesn't collect these records and metrics all the time? How will you be able to show your accomplishments? Well, an easy way to do that is just to think about what you did in that job compared to another person doing the exact same job in the same company. So like your coworker. So now you're gonna have to kind of compare yourself to your coworkers. What have you done that's better than them? That made things easier than them? That was more efficient than them? Um, Quicker than them? Anything that gives you a little sense of comparison, then that's what you kind of want to include inside your resume. Okay, so those are the types of things that you can add onto your resume that would be accomplishments, that would be things that show how well you did your job. Again, that is the most important part when writing your resume bullet points, is to include those accomplishments. Just by adding your job duties, it does not allow the recruiter to know exactly how you will be good for this job. So make sure that you add these accomplishments into every bullet point that you put there, that you put down. Don't waste any bullet points. Don't waste any space on the resume. You want to make sure to utilize the entire space of the resume, so that the recruiter will pick you for the job over someone else. All right. So if you're still joining me, let me know if you have any questions, or if any of that made sense, or if it doesn't make sense, let me know, because I'd love to answer any questions that you have about it. Hopefully I was able to explain it well enough for you. While I wait for some of those questions, I just wanted to let everyone know that next week I have a free 1-hour training that's going to be very valuable to any job seeker out there that's looking for either a career change, or just thinking about going into a different job, or maybe they're needing a new job because of the pandemic. The 1-hour training shows you the top 3 mistakes that you may be making that's keeping you from landing your dream career. So if you haven't been able to get to that point of being in a job that you love doing, then you might be making one of these mistakes. And as a spoiler alert, we talk about personal brands, we talk about goal setting, and we also talk about the strategies of job search and research. So you'll be learning all that within this free 1-hour training. All you need to do is RSVP on my site right here at the bottom, douglau.com/trading. And I'm also putting it as a feature link here in the live right now. But yes, I promise you that if you attend this training, you're going to learn something from it, and that it's going to help you in whenever you're going to be doing your job search, whether that's right now, you're in the midst of it, or you're looking into, looking for jobs at a later time. This is information that you're going to be able to use and utilize to get you to your dream career a lot faster than if you didn't know this information. So please go ahead and RSVP to the training at douglau.com/training. I'd love to see you there. There's 2 dates, February 9th at 5:30 Pacific, or Wednesday, February 10th at 12 noon Pacific. So I'd love to see you at either one of those, or maybe both of those. And you can also ask questions at the training. There will be a live Q&A session at the end of it. So if you have any questions about anything, whether that's part of the training, the things that we go over in the training, or if there's just other questions that you have about career tips, career advice, job search, research, things like that in general, you can use that time at the end of the live training to ask me those questions. All right, so it looks like I'm looking at the comments right now. There aren't any other comments. Hi, Melvin. Thanks for watching. If you do have any questions, this is the time to do it right now in the live. I'll wait a little bit to see if there's anyone that has any questions. All right, well, it doesn't look like there are any questions, but again, if you are watching this as a replay and you do have questions about what I just went over today, or just any other questions that you have on career clarity, resume writing, or interviews, then please put them in the comments, and I would love to address that in a future video. All right, thank you so much for joining me again on this Wednesday, and I will see you tomorrow for day 9 of 30 of Career Tips. All right, bye.